It only took me 8 years to fix this. Let's share the new link. Okay, this should be better. The link seems to be working. Let's go. Hi everyone, this is stream number 4, where we are learning songs by ear, mostly the solo parts, and this week's song is a beautiful song by a band called Destiny Potato, a band that features David Maxim Micic, one of my favorite musicians ever, honestly, such a creative musician. And yeah, we will be learning the solo by ear, and I will be explaining how I approach learning the solos I learn by ear, certain techniques that you can use, certain software that you can use, and I will learn the notes one by one, so, slowly, and as I make the notes more concrete, as I understand where the notes are supposed to go, then I will be moving the tempo higher so that I can now start playing the song rather than learning everything note by note, and so the first part is kind of analysis and deeper dive. The second part is really playing the guitar to the best of my abilities. So first of all, I have the song here already. I extracted the stems using Moises.ai, a tool that I love and very happily use. The first thing I need to do is make sure that all the files that I extracted have the file tempo set. This is important because I want to be able to slow down the song as I'm learning it, but I want to be able to do it through the DAW. So I want to, for example, when I change the tempo to, let's say, instead of 85, if I change it to 40, I want the entire song to go down to 40 BPM. And there are two things I need to do for that, which I will do in just a second. But first I want to listen to the solo myself and find out what BPM the song uses. And the goal here is that I do trust AI, sure, I guess, but I just want to make sure by myself before trusting AI blindly, because I want everything to align on a grid. So first I will go to a website, it's like tap BPM, what is it again? beatsperminuteonline.com. It is the website I use for understanding the tempo. So basically you just open it, you tap on any key or your mouse or whatever, and it gives you the BPM of the song. So here is the solo section. That is yelling a bit. I will reduce the volume. Sorry for that. Let's find every track here. I'm gonna take them down to maybe 5 BPM. Yeah, I think this will do. So I'm just gonna listen to the thing and find out what BPM it is. I think it's gonna be 85 because Moises is getting more and more accurate on this, but let's see. Seems to be more or less 85 BPM. So because I'm gonna be learning the solo, I'm just gonna crop, like this section is the solo sort of. I'm just gonna crop the rest of it because why would I keep a part that I'm not gonna use? I don't want the distraction. And here the solo. So let's just go until here, for example. I will select everything. I now have the part that I want to use extracted. We'll move it to the beginning. Yeah. And if I in Studio, and if I click P, it sort of highlights the section that is currently selected, but it lets me loop around it, for example. That's one handy feature that I really like. So as I mentioned, I will first change two things on each track to be able to work with it. The first thing is, so I select the track. Here below, there is the file tempo that you can see is not set. But I want it to be aligned with the DAW so that when the DAW changes, the tempo of the track changes as well. So let's go to this part and it's 85. And the second thing I want to change for every track is this tempo functionality. So it's by default follow, but I want it to be time stretch so that again, when I slow down, it stretches the audio and now it's slower, a little deformed in a way, but at least slower and easier for me to follow. So that was this one. This is a one-time setup that you need to do per song if you're following a similar practice. So I'm just gonna do this. Tempo is time stretch, tempo is time stretch. If you have any questions, you are more than welcome to share. If you'd like to chat, please just say hi. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the stream and the learning process. I got something. Oh, Rafael, thank you very much for subscribing. That's very kind of you. I hope that there will be something interesting for you here. Hello, hello. So we say time stretch. The file tempo. The song doesn't have piano, like as you can see the track is empty. I like being consistent, like, you know, whatever. So just a couple more tracks and then we're good. So I changed the tempo to 85 and I set the file tempo here to time stretch 85. Two more items. Yes. And they're practically done. So with this set, as I repeated, what DAW is this? Raphael, this is Studio One. It's a DAW by a company called PreSonus, a company that I think Fender bought sometime last year. Very, very, very nice DAW. I think it does pretty much everything I need, and they have like nice subscription plans. And I don't own the DAW, but I pay like a monthly fee, or maybe semi-year, something, I don't know. And it gives me access to the DAW, like the license. It gives me access to a lot of different plugins that they support and either develop or they just kind of offer through like partnerships with other companies. It's pretty nice tool. And now what I want to do is I will listen to the solo several times just to get a hint of it, get my mindset on it, and also to introduce the solo for those who might not know the solo and who are watching it now or in the future. So David Maxim Micic is awesome. Let's see how this goes. Let's go again, because I I just noticed I had multiple, not one, multiple metronomes on. As a guitar player and instructor, I do emphasize that the metronome is important. Not that much. Let's not have multiple metronomes running at the same time while we're trying to listen to pretty music. So I have a rough idea of what the tonality sort of is. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, how to put this? When I listen to this, one of the first things that I'm noticing is the sort of intervals. Like normally intervals is a huge topic on itself, but if we have a song that has like a major tonality, it will be like kind of bright and happy, but I don't think this one is terribly bright. It's not a very minor kind of thing either, but what I'm hearing / assuming here is that this is gonna be in harmonic minor. Of sorts. So imagine something like, this I'm playing Phrygian tone, so it would be, so basically I would have 1, 2, flat 3, so it's a minor, harmonic minor in the name, 4, 5, flat 6, and what differentiates it from the natural minor scale is instead of a flat 7, we have a 7. And then we go to the octave. So basically we have 1. And this, I think we hear in a lot, so many music, but especially in metal context, the harmonic minor, like the Phrygian and genres of Phrygian are like very widely used. So I think this track features a mode of the harmonic minor, which I imagine is going to be the Phrygian dominant, but we are going to dive into all of this. So now what I want is to listen to the solo isolated and try to hear multiple things. Try to catch little dynamics that are obvious right out of the gate. Like if he's playing aggressively at certain parts, or if he's just like lightly picking. And Moises also has an advantage over I think some of the market, where when they isolate the track, you actually hear the effects as well, which means that if this solo has a delay, I will very likely hear the delay either in the lead track that I have or in the other track. So like one of them will give me an idea of what the artist is using. So if I have an idea about the song, how can I say this? If I imagine the song being terribly complicated and it's like picked a lot of notes, but then we listen to it isolated and we notice, oh, he's actually using just the delay pedal, and that's bringing some of the previous items, and that's why it's feeling like faster or more full, or like in a way cleaner, or more like, you know, stronger or something. So it just gives us a nice idea. And I will now isolate the lead track. I can keep the metronome just to have like a grasp of where we are in the song. And let's start. And this is at 100% speed. So for example, right at the end, we're very clearly hearing the delay, and almost in a way that it gives us the tempo of how much delay there is as well, which is beautiful. Like na 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 na, like we just hear that part of the delay, which means that if I'm making a cover of it, I'm working on it, I'm trying to, I have a show and I try to nail it to the best of my abilities. This is information that I can keep for myself and I can use while dialing in my tone. Or you can do what I do most of the time these days, which is just ask ChatGPT and hope that I get a good answer on the tone, like at least a decent ballpark, and then I can tweak it to my liking, and like the pickups I have, the, you know, the guitar I have, and all those kind of things. So another thing I noticed that is that he is playing. There are several places where he just kind of doesn't play an open string per se, but he uses a lower register note to either give sort of an indicator of where we are in the solo, and it just it kind of makes it more powerful in a way. I will, while we're listening to it more slowly, I will like point out, this is what I heard, this is what I heard, but I feel that there are just a lot of nuances in the solo. So just gonna loop over it twice more, then we slow down and try to approach, like try to find out what he's doing on the guitar. So full tempo, let's go. And I actually want to increase the volume a bit because it is kind of muffled currently, so I want to be able to hear it better. I'm just gonna move past it. Like, for example, another detail we will definitely touch on is if I mute my guitars, you can't hear it. This is better. So for example, at this part we're hearing like kind of a single pitch, but instead of just something like this, that was surprisingly in pitch, instead of just playing it like, clearly not in the wrong right part. So instead of playing, like hearing one thing, you basically hear like, and these kind of things really make David Maxim Micic's playing kind of different, because he adds a lot of these little dynamic attacks. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's listen to it one more time, and then we slow down, we learn the solo. Now I will slow down the tempo. I think it's a decent tempo to go, like 50% would be a decent tempo to go down to, just to be able to hear things well. Because the goal is that we understand what he's playing. So I could just play along to the entire solo and get like, I don't know, 30% of it correct, maybe by luck. But when we're learning a solo, it's good practice to just at least try to first understand what the tonality is, because it will, if you know your scales and your modes and everything, it will give you some hints as to where the solo might be played from. And another benefit of it is, again, as I mentioned, like you can hear subtle things that make the artist different from, you know, like why is David Maxim Micic not sounding like John Petrucci, or why is John Petrucci not sounding like Guthrie Govan? Because these people have different touches and they have different dynamics and everything. So it gives us a good opportunity to understand what makes this musician special. And now I will go down to, let's say, 45 BPM, question mark? But maybe, you know what, let's go for 60 BPM. Try to see if we can pick up nuances at that speed. And because I made the change, now every single track gets stretched out and I can hear everything I wanted to hear. So I will also put the loop here because there are some notes here, but like we can find those later. So it starts with like a kind of touch. My tone might not be perfect for this song actually, but it'll have to do. Actually, one thing I'm gonna do is I will reduce how much of the delay gets into the mix, because if I'm learning things by like note by note and I play this or this and I have to wait for the entire thing to finish so that I can continue hearing things, it's not really fun. So that's like fine. Okay, I just dialed it down to like 4% mix, so it should be easier to identify things. strange harmonic here that he hits. There are gonna be big vibratos and very interesting details on this one. I'm hearing like kind of, and then like, for example, I was saying this thing about how he hits low register notes to have like an anchor point to identify where we are in the song. And for example, the first one it's like an octave basically. And then I'm hearing another, not this note, but like another kind of indicator, like more bassy sound. Just, oh no, what have I done? Let's do this. Okay, redraw the thing. This is sounding very harmonic minor, to me at least. So that's not the note. So this is like, when you zoom in enough, you know where the hit comes. Okay, so the last note is safe. Hello. I think it's Phrygian dominant actually. Yeah, exactly. I fully agree. Yeah, at the beginning I was also saying it will likely be in Phrygian dominant. And right now it seems to me, or it feels like the tonality is kind of A flat, and yeah, we're gonna see. Also, thank you very much for the feedback and welcome. I hope you have a good time. None of the notes I wanted. Maybe. That's definitely not it. Wait. I think that's something like this. Sorry. Yeah, what am I doing? So it goes on to C, I think. Yeah, that's. It took me 7 days, but we got it. Is there a little pinch there? Like, one thing about listening to these things slowly, one benefit is you also hear like which notes are muted, which notes are kind of picked, which notes are more legato. So it gives you such a nice benefit in trying to understand what makes this person sounds like this person. Like, for example, like this to me sounds like a palm muted, for example. Like just leave these nuances. There's what I imagine is going to be a sweep over there. This part has like a nice triplet. I don't know what that part is. We are gonna find out, but I don't know what that is. So, this is still a bit fast for me to fully note by note understand. Instead of fighting, I will go down to, let's say, 40 BPM, which would be a little below 50% speed. So, let us start again. I think you could use a touch more gain, by the way. Playing this with a clean tone is going to make it even more difficult, and it's already hard. I agree, and I appreciate that. I could include a bit more. Might be a bit too much. Let me adjust the mix for this. Yeah, it's gonna be okay. It might be a bit too much even. Yeah. Oh boy, that is an out of tune guitar. I will keep this running and tune my guitar in the meantime. I don't wanna make anyone suffer. Is it like a simple A flat major? Like maybe the first note, like first two notes are kind of good enough. Yeah, that is the arpeggio 100%. Cool, thank you very much. And then I think it's gonna go up again. Let's find out. Oops, that's also props to you for playing that over 6 strings. I could never. I can play that one only as a 5-string sweep and tap. Oh, I'm also playing it as a 5-string actually. So I have, I'm on the A string, just 11 to 15, yeah, 11 to 15. And the rest is kind of like, so basically if I was playing like A flat major, it would kind of look like this. Like if you know your cage system, you know, kind of this kind of A shape, then I basically have it here and it's just, sorry. And so I outline the chord and then I will go for, so I do not touch the low E because I just, maybe he plays it like this actually, I don't know. That's one more thing, but to me it sounds a bit more like this. But one good thing about, or how to put it, one thing that we will do after I learn all the notes, which is probably gonna take a century or two, then we can think about, oh, like it makes sense, okay, that's the pitch, but knowing what we know about, for example, David Maxim Micic, would he play it like this? So I can find the exact same pitch in a song that I'm learning, but do I know for sure that it's going to be where he played it? And this exercise of like listening to things slowly, it comes with the benefit of hearing the timbre of a note. So if I'm playing an E note on the G string, the pitch is the same as me playing it over the A string, so it would be, but the timbre is different, and that sometimes makes a difference in like the covers we see and the live versions, and just understanding how people approach the solo in the first place. And it also helps find maybe easier ways to play it, because maybe we're trying to play something over here and then it jumps over here and we don't think of playing it in this region, when it could actually be simpler. I see, it is a different shape. That is actually really cool, still very difficult for me because of that bar though. It is an annoying bar for me as well. I think all of us, like anytime you have to bar, you have to think about lifting your fingers and the rolling motion. Because if I don't roll and lift the finger in time, then it's gonna sound like a chord. But if I manage to lift it, then it's like a little cleaner, and I think that makes a big difference for example, like that sucked, for example. It's just bad. But like everything else, it's something to practice and improve if you think it fits your musical taste. And I think that's pretty cool. The roll is quite annoying to play, even more when you're doing the descending arpeggio and you roll on. I'm fully agreeing with you. I completely agree with you. I think it's not this, it's here. Is he just going up like this? No, I think this is the last note. Maybe not all the way there. I'm being lazy. I shouldn't rush. I should find the notes as they are. Yeah, that's the note. This is also there. I think after this, he's going back up to the 14th fret. Oh, okay, he's actually playing it. So like, that's kind of there. Of course, not alternate pick because that would not sound good when I do it. I think I'm playing one note extra. Maybe it's not. Nope, he's definitely. Maybe it's the 14th fret that isn't here. There's no shame in slowing down even further. I'm gonna go down to 30 BPM, which is hell, but it helps. Maybe just kind of, but I don't hear a slide either. I might need to adjust the position. I think. Yeah. So I don't think he would jump like this. I think you're playing the right notes. I reckon the rhythm is just messing with you. That's what I was thinking as well. You've been very, very helpful. Thank you very much. I do not know XMM. Do I address you correctly? Because of how he drags out the first four. No, I fully agree. Thank you very much for your contribution. It's very, very polite of you. Thanks to you, I will be learning this faster. So instead of 2 centuries, it'll take me 1. But all my streams so far have been finished until under 2 hours. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Here? No. Yeah. Maybe? No worries, man. I'm just happy to see someone be passionate about this kind of music on guitar. I appreciate that. It's. I mean, like David Maxim Micic. Just wow. I remember a few posts from him saying that Destiny Potato might release either Destiny Potato or Sordid Pink. I'm not 100%, but there might be new music coming, which is more than exciting. Sure. Yeah. No, that's very much major. That's not the note we want. So this, like 10.4.2, is sort of where we have this 21st fret. Maybe like a leaping motion to make the passage a bit simpler. Was E flat. That is likely. Yeah, I guess that kind of sounds like a diminished, like, you know, flat third interval. Yeah, exactly, you're right. But now I am getting thrown off by the rhythm, I think, because like actually we're still doing triplets, da, 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 da. And that's what happens when you're slowed down. You're trying to understand each note, but you kind of look at things with a magnifying glass, which means that you kind of lose context. But that will be solved as soon as I take a step back and like make it a bit faster to come back to the context rather than like note. We're coming to the na 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 part, so the rhythm will breathe a bit. Yeah, I think that's... something like that. I think we're coming to that. Sorry. One fret to the right. Kind of like it's in the ballpark. Acceptable. The last parts are easier, so I think we're kind of almost done with the harder part of the solo, because there's a lot happening here. Off topic, but that tone is really quite good. Are you using Plini at the moment? It sounds quite smooth and is a bit on the darker side. No, I'm using Fractal Audio. So I have an FM3, and I am going to see if I can show it. Just 1 second. I'm happy to share the presets. I don't think there's anything special on it, but one thing I would happily mention and encourage, because it has been helping me so far, is that as someone who does not know their gear very well, like if there's a guitar, I will happily play it, but will I know why the pickup sounds the way it does? How was it coiled? Does the wood make such a big difference? These are not topics that I delve into all that much, and it's the same for, pedals and amps and cabs. Like, these are things to learn, I think, over time. And I haven't done my fair share of it. I should have, but I'm learning now a little bit better. So what I'm trying to do is, I didn't do it for this case, but what I have been trying is that I just go to ChatGPT. I literally say, I am trying to learn, or like I'm gonna make a cover of, Selenium Forest by Plini, using Archetype whatever, or using Positive Grid, using Spark, using Yamaha, THR practice amp. What settings can I use to sound similar? And it actually does a decent job of analyzing it and giving some idea that is fairly close. Before using this ChatGPT thing, I would just go for example, I would go on like Fractal forums, or I would go on, let's say, a Plini forum or a David Maxim Micic forum, and try to understand what gear are they using. And then I would try to replicate that in my own setup somehow. But that took so much time, and people are kind of picky in these topics from time to time. So I wouldn't always get the answer that is correct in the quickest way possible. And I value time. So I just started asking ChatGPT, like, just do the research for me and come back to me with it. And so far it has been working kind of nicely. If you have a Fractal unit, I'm happy to share the preset somehow. I can attach it to the description somewhere. Or if we follow each other on Discord or on Instagram, I'm also happy. If you reach out to me, I will happily share it. But what I would do personally is really go to ChatGPT, say, I need this kind of tone for this cover of a song. This is the artist. What do you recommend? And if you say, like, explain it step by step, or like justify your reasoning or something, it actually kind of explains, oh, well, Plini uses this kind of amp or this kind of pedal, which makes it sound this way. So if you're using, like an HSS configuration on your guitar, you might want to dial in a bit more gain, or like just some information like this. And it's it's not something I would use all the time because it's still, you know, it still isn't perfect, but it gets me in the ballpark where I can start to say, oh, maybe I can get a little more gain, or like, I don't know, like I think the reverb or the delay is way too strong and I don't want to keep it this much, like this dominant, and then you can change it. ChatGPT tone picking is crazy. It does work nicely, I agree. One thing I would not recommend is try to copy artist gear. Too many variables make settings copying useless. I do agree. I do like having a ballpark. So for example, I can talk about like Jack Gardner, one of my favorite musicians ever. But I know that me getting Jack Gardner's signature pickup will not make me sound like Jack Gardner. It will offer me an advantage over another set of pickups. But the way Jack Gardner plays, how hard he picks, how softly he plays some dynamic things, how he uses compressor or like these kind of like all the pedals and everything, it will create differences, and that's just part of the game. And but yeah, I'm happy to be near the ballpark and then try to navigate around it. And if you're lucky enough, like in the mix, it kind of gets lost anyway. So yeah. Okay, back to the pain. Some of the notes were correct. Okay, I think we have this run, so that's good. Sorry. And then there is some kind of diminished something. I don't know. We're gonna find out. But there it seems like either the delay is kind of getting it a bit more muffled, or I don't have an or actually. I think it's just the delay that is getting it a little muffled because it kind of feels out of time, and I don't think in like you know, creative selection kind of way. So there's something there. Even slower. So let's go down to 25 BPM. All in the name of being accurate. I should have started with 25. This sounds so much easier. That run is gonna be hell. Yeah, I think so. I'm happy that I'm like hearing, for example, the color of it. So to me, it sounds like a diminished run, and like the ending of the solo kind of sounds like. Like it's gonna be fine. I think those are simpler notes. But let's crack this diminished run. That is an interesting one. Is it like 6 tuplets? Or like 8 notes? Like da 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 da. Kind of. Or well, I mean when I say 8, I mean like 12 actually. It's like da 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 da. So we're almost, yeah, like here I think is the 11.4 is where we start the pain. Or here, actually. Okay. I'm gonna go for 20. And at some point I might just admit, like, yeah, I don't know what he's doing there. And we just watch a video of him playing somehow. Honest to God, I think it is very random. I am close to getting that. So I don't think that there really is a tight subdivision there. I don't think there's a tight subdivision either. But I do want to give it a shot to see if, like, I don't want to be dismissive immediately, but I also think, honestly, that it's not like in a grid, it's not like taga 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 taga. It's rather like, as Jack Gardner would say, or as Gachigon I think also says, like crazy bad shit go, or like crazy random shit go. Like just nope. 11.4. I honestly don't know. What I'm going to do is watch David Maxim Micic play it. And to me, at least, it would give an idea of what it kind of looks like, and that might help me identify things a bit better. And very lucky for me, David Maxim Micic has a video on it, which is like perfect. Oh boy, that is interesting. So I will literally slow down the video and I will watch from there. This wasn't the best decision. Wait, let's do this. This is going to be a bit simpler. After hearing it again, I think it's 8/10 notes followed by 2 8s. Then, yeah, the delay is really making it like, huh? Maybe shout out to Moises if they can remove effects or when the user wants. If I'm not listening to it on the Moises version, I kind of just hear. No, that's not exactly right. Just to double check. It kind of sounds like. So it's kind of. Yeah. But this might just be a live take. Yeah, I think it's just a live take. The solo ends a bit differently as well, which is fine. Sounds like nines to me in there. Yeah, kinda. Just to check, can you hear the Firefox? Like, can you hear the music that I was just playing? Because I don't think I set it up, so if it's working, that's just wonderful. You definitely could. Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much. But I think it's a different version, honestly, because the solo ends differently on this video. He's so good. I think before diving into more of this, I will take a small tea break because I'm out. I encourage you to get a little drink yourself, and I will be back here in like 5 minutes, I think. Thank you very much for. It's definitely a different version than Studio One was definitely random. I fully agree. I will take a 5-minute break, just get a nice cup of tea. I encourage you to do the same. Thank you very much for having joined for this long. You could have done anything else with your evening, so I really, really appreciate your time. Then, yeah, see you. I don't know what this was supposed to be. I will see you in a couple of minutes. Yes, I for some reason decided to put the cup of tea aggressively close to the camera. Maybe 1 more minute. Be careful with liquids next to the yeah, definitely. I had a gullible moment. So this guitar is out of tune because this is out of tune. XMM, if you'd like to join a very small Discord server where I either announce like little streams like these that I do, or like, you know, give a little notice when I put a little video out, or just try to spark a conversation with other fellow musicians. If you'd like to join a Discord server like that, please let me know. I can add the link in the description. I can also just do this with that's, yeah, this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Perfect. Yep. Now. Yes. Let's go back to the music. Ah, we're both on David's. Nice. Awesome. That does make sense. But yeah, when you're like working on something yourself, in like it can be like a video that you film or a new song that you release, like anything you want to share, please feel free to just quote unquote spam the server with it. Like it's very welcome. Just share your progress, share your work. It's very welcome. I'll take a little break from this part. I will figure out what's happening at the exact ending, because, for example, I know that I need to land on like an E note. I will actually be running. I want to finish some music for David's next stream. I am horribly uninspired. Oh, I get you. I'm happy to chat about this anytime. I'm constantly uninspired and very much annoyed about it. I do want to ask about David's next stream though. I don't think I have joined a lot of streams from David. So, do you think, like, could you tell me what kind of work he does there? Like, is it listening to other people's music? Is it, is it like production inspired or production focused composition? Like any information is very welcome. And I will, in the meantime, find out what he's playing at the end. And I was saying, so he lands on this E note, which makes me think that maybe he's using some like theory, like music theory kind of information to make sure that landing on this E note sounds, more like, let's say, smooth. So maybe he's approaching it from some sort of diminished thing, or maybe a dominant, like a secondary dominant, secondary diminished, something. I haven't really watched many either. From what I have gathered, it is a bit of everything. Nice. Showcase plugins, reacts to music. Oh, that is beautiful. Pretty much a therapy session. Sounds very nice. I will keep that in mind. Thank you very much for sharing that. And now... That's a big vibrato. So actually it doesn't hit 4 times, he just does. So it's just like twice here at least. This is way too slow for the context. I will go to 40 BPM because oh my god. At some point these vibratos start to sound like cows and it's just like, what is happening? This is so much better. Here he hits. I'm pretty sure that it is completely diminished, but maybe the very ending. Yeah, I definitely think it's a diminished run. I just need to find like something probably like these are not notes, but like just jumping a bit closer to the neck, and probably likely just a minor third as well. What is the delay is interfering with it so much. what I'm expecting. Yeah, that's it. I think that's it. And now, Mr. Bond, you must die. That's so random. I can use the information. So we know that it's landing on. Sorry. Before this, if he's, for example, if you can understand which note he's landing on, then we can use that information that to sort of find the potential shape that can sound close enough, because this is chaos. I went way too far. I think he's landing on E flat. Now we go back to the ungodly, as you said, part. Just so accurate. Am I hearing a little slide there? I think this is the last part I'm hearing, so it doesn't have to be a slide, but I think it has to be. Yeah, something. There's something there. So what can it be? Let's loop that section. Yeah, right, there's definitely a slide on the last part. Like, if I can hit the right fret, it's gonna sound even better. I'm just gonna loop this section. Not that section. Basically from here. I'm so sorry. This is why there's that saying about, you know, like art should be observed from a distance. Like art shouldn't be, you know, we shouldn't look at things with like a magnifying glass. It should just be enjoyed and appreciated. Whereas what we're doing right now is like, Don't get me wrong though, I do really enjoy this. I wonder if maybe he's not doing three notes per string. So what was I thinking before? something. Like maybe it's just because I do keep hearing the delay is muffling it, of course, but I am hearing kind of like aggressive alternate picking. I think that seeing the gears moving actually makes you appreciate art even more. Actually, on its own, music is wonderful, but when you also see the thought behind it, it becomes incredible. I agree. I agree to the extent that if I'm seeing how someone created something, and if I'm seeing the effort that went into it, and like maybe nuances that I would not have noticed had I not looked into it, it does make me appreciate the music more. But when we slow it down to 20 BPM, it's making me appreciate it less, at least right now. But I do enjoy the thing. So yeah, I think that's a fair point. I think for me there is a balance to it. But yeah, I think that's something to think about. That's an interesting topic. Maybe. There's something there. No. 25. Come on. I think what he's doing is this kind of like running up and down motion. So and from here it's somehow connecting to that. But I don't think I want to spend more time on that specifically at the moment. I want to spend a little more time making sure I have the the integral parts of the solo, and the rest I will just sit down and practice and try to get close. But I won't do it. So let's go to 35 BPM. I don't know. I already forget this part. Kind of harder to play it here. Let's keep playing. Come on. Sorry, C, A, F sharp. That is exactly what I'm thinking as well. But the second part, yeah, that's what I'm kind of trying for now. Like, but we still hear the, or maybe. Those are not diminished arpeggios. That could be it. I think that sounds fair. Like the F sharp, E flat, F sharp, I think, is a hook. As in, it goes from F sharp down to E flat, and then. Sure, but to me it sounds like it is not just descending, but instead has that little hook. Oh, interesting. Oh, let me listen to it with that perspective. I'm listening to the wrong part. I was thinking this sounds easy. Why am I having a hard time? This is so cloudy. I mean, it's not convenient to play, but it's kind of making sense to me. if there is no sixth note, so it's like. Either way, again, I think as long as you place some sort of diminisher on it, that speed will sound alright. Could also just straight up ask David. I agree. I honestly might ask David to see if he remembers. Because, Jesus Christ. But I don't think I will continue taking this up to speed in this stream. I might continue on another stream, or I can just I'll just spend my own time to continuing it. But it is a beautiful solo, very, very nicely composed. And let's just play it like a couple more times, and then I think I will call it a night. But I really appreciate you staying and chatting, and it's very, very welcome. I really appreciate that. That's not slow. Oh, that's gonna be super fun to learn another time. I think I will stop the stream here and continue with the song later on. This has been probably his ninth notes. Wait, it's really easy to play at speed. Oh wow. Oh. That sounds pretty cool. could be it. And if that is actually it, hats off to you. That's not what I would... I don't think I would find that myself. So that's very, very cool. Thank you very much for joining. I will probably put the Discord link in the chat just in case someone else watches it in the future. This has been a very fun song. Probably, ironically, the hardest one I learned so far. And we had a Petrucci song, a Guthrie Gowan song, and an Ole Borut song. So hats off to David. Just very, very, very nice work. Thank you for joining, and I hope to see you on the next streams. Yeah, cheers. Enjoy your evening.